You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real as Roland Martin Unfiltered. By going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com, you can make this possible. Well, speaking of diversity, folks, they're lighting up Jeffrey Goldberg. He's the editor-in-chief of The Atlantic magazine. Why? Because he made some comments that dealt with the issue of diversity in journalism. He says that pretty much the people who can write long-form pieces, 10,000-word pieces, exclusively white men. This is a quote. It's really, really hard to write a 10,000-word cover story. There are not a lot of journalists in America who can do it. The journalists in America who do it are almost exclusively white males. Now, some have said that he was trying to make the point that they are trying to fix that. But in fact, I want to pull something. Let me pull this story up because he actually said something else that I thought was interesting, which is really going to be the focus of my commentary on this. Because y'all know, I have no problem at all sitting here jacking these folks up because of what they do. And you have to, and remember, y'all, I am in the business of words. I listen to what people have to say, and I go through the whole deal. And so this is actually what he said. We continue to have and actually it was a column he wrote. It was a column he wrote where he took questions from folks, their audience. He said, we continue to have a problem with the print magazine cover stories, with the gender and race issues when it comes to cover story writing. Of the 15 print issues The Atlantic has published since January 2018, 11 had cover stories written by men. Quote, it's really, really hard to write a 10,000-word cover story. There are not a lot of journalists in America who do it. The journalists in America who do it are almost exclusively white males. What I have to do, and I haven't done this enough yet, is again about experience versus potential. You can look at people and be like, well, your experience is writing 1,200 word pieces for the web and you're great at it, so good going. Now let me unpack that. Here's the fun. Now, again, you're looking at somebody who is Vice President Digital for the National Association of Black Journalists, lifetime member, third time being on the board of directors, previously secretary, before that, the National Student Representative. You're talking about somebody who went to a communications high school in Houston. So essentially, I've been doing journalism since I was 14 years old. That is the last 36 and a half years. What I have experienced in 36 and a half years in this industry has been white supremacy. Meaning, if you truly look at that statement, what he is saying that, the people who really can write long 10,000-word pieces, they're white men. Y'all, that's white supremacy. Meaning you think you're better. Now let's unpack that. The reason he's saying that is because if you look at the magazine industry all across the board, who do you largely see? White folks. When Spike Lee did one of his previous movies, he said, I will not do any magazine interviews unless you send a black journalist. Oh, white folks lost their mind, but it forced them to look at their newsrooms. They looked up and went, damn, we don't have anybody to send, because they didn't even acknowledge that it was an all-white newsroom. This is the equivalent of saying, you know what, it'd be great for an African-American to be the CEO of a company, but you know what? Those with the experience to run companies are simply white men. But see, what bothers me is when he talked about this whole issue of, when he said experience versus potential. See, if you are a real editor and you want to fix this problem, and then you have individuals who work at your place who are black, and they've written 1,200-word articles, do you know what you do the next time? You assign them a 4,000-word article. And then when they do a 4,000-word article, you assign them a 7,000 or 8,000-word article. And then when they've done that, you assign them a 10,000-word article. Actually, it's not hard. I've run 3 black newspapers. Every paper I've run, there were some people who were excellent, who were top of the line. But I always knew I couldn't solely depend upon them because I might need somebody else to write a cover story one day. And so I had to look into the newsroom to say, okay, well, your skill set, and your skill set. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a shot to do this here. Let me explain to you what we do here at Roland Martin Unfiltered. My control room is right there. Henry directs the show. Stephanie is sitting next to him. She's a producer. I said, Henry, I need Stephanie cross-trained to actually direct the show. Chelsea, who sits over here, who also the social producer. She's had to learn how to use the robotic cameras. Atlantis, my niece, who runs tapes, she also had to learn how to use robotic cameras. You know why that's the case? I need everybody to be cross-trained. Every person who works here is going to have to learn to use the Canon XA25, how to use that camera, the Canon XF405 4K camera, how to use it. Why? Because that's what leaders do, Jeffrey. They train up. They coach up. And if you're serious about this, that's exactly what you should do. And stop making excuses. There are black folks who now write for The Atlantic. Yeah. Adam Sir. Yeah. Jamel Hill. Yeah. And others.
Adam Harris.
Are you trying to say to me they don't have the ability to write 10,000-word stories? Right. It is because white men who are in power are comfortable assigning stories to other white men to doing the exact same coverage. It is no different than when you see these folks who are the ones leading the conversations in politics are largely white men. I have been at the table with 2 presidents where they've had the television anchors in the room. And I can tell you, in one of those meetings, before Lester Holt became the NBC Nightly News anchor, who was the only black person sitting in the room? Yours truly. When Lester got the job, guess what? We were there. Under Trump, when they invited some people, Yamiche Alcindor, who's not a television anchor, was there for PBS. It was Lester, me, and Yamiche. I brought Derek McGinty along because I had an open spot. They had 2 for us. Why am I saying that? It's because what black people have always said is, yo, when the hell we gonna get a shot? It's the same thing. If you keep pursuing white supremacy by trying to use experience as the reason why we can't find anybody, that's why you'll never find anybody. Because as long as you say if 11 men wrote cover stories, you're gonna have more men writing because you never actually make the effort. And here's the other piece. If you got somebody who isn't seriously experienced, but they have enough experience, that's why you have good-ass editors to edit their pieces. Y'all, I keep telling y'all, and I need y'all to hear me, why this is the last bastion. This, media. Why? Because media is America's greatest export. The world knows us because of our movies, because of our television shows, because of our newscasts, because of our music. That is what is exported to the world. People learn about America through what they see and hear on the big screen, small screen, now when it comes to digital media, and also when it comes to music as well. And so when Hollywood says, oh, we can't take that black film and they don't do well overseas, they do. You're actually promoting the same nonsense. Because when you say that, that means we're not going to put a black person in the film here because it's not gonna can't take it overseas, so therefore we can't sell it. So the black person never gets to be the lead. So y'all understand how this whole thing goes? This is the game. And I keep trying to explain to y'all that. And see, what I also keep trying to explain to y'all, why it's important, why you got to have shows like this and black people running it, because I can do a roll call right now of the black people who have come through my shows, Washington Watch, News One Now, and Roland Martin Unfiltered, who when you turn on cable news, all of a sudden you see them. Paul Butler at MSNBC, Angela Rye at CNN, Shermichael Singleton, when you saw Paris Denard, when you see David Swertlick, Lauren Coates, when you saw her on Hardball, she was on a panel on Hardball. Whose show does she host? Mine. Hosting ain't the same as a panel. You know what that's called? Opportunity. I saw Lauren said, I think she has host potential. Put her in the chair. Now she has her own show on Sirius XM. But CNN, y'all ain't seeing CNN put her in the host chair. But she can. And guess who says she should host Jeopardy one day after he retires? Alex Trebek. What did Alex Trebek see in Lauren Coates that nobody else saw? But CNN won't put her in the host chair. Do y'all see where I'm going? Jeffrey Goldberg, do you see where I'm going? If somebody who's in power doesn't decide to change the paradigm and begin to break this whole deal open, then it doesn't change. That's the only reason we support Branch Rickey. Jackie Robinson could always play ball.
That's right.
Jackie Robinson played ball in the Negro Leagues. By the way, he wasn't the best in the Negro Leagues. So it was no shock he succeeded in Major League Baseball because, hell, we knew he could play. Somebody just simply had to open the damn door, as James Brown said. Just open the door and I get it myself. The reality is, Jeffrey Goldberg, don't sit here and whine and complain about, oh my goodness, there's all these men. No, have the guts. No, have the balls to actually say, I am going to assign a woman the cover story. I am going to assign an African American the cover story. And if anybody in the room has a problem with it, then take it up with me, because that's why it says editor-in-chief. Jeffrey, I've run 3 black newspapers and I had total control. I ran blackamericaweb.com. I had total control. I was the host and managing editor of News One Now. I'm the host and managing editor of this show, and I'm the owner. And guess what? I run it. My suggestion to you, learn how to be a damn leader and change the game. Poop or get off the pot.
Oop.
All right, folks, back to our Roland Mark Unfiltered video in just one moment. Hey, guys, they're back. MarijuanaStock.org has another great investment opportunity. If you were lucky enough to invest in their last crowdfunding campaign, you know they raised a lot of money in just a few months investing in legal marijuana farms. Now, those initial investors now own shares of a publicly traded company. Folks, the last time, again, a lot of y'all missed it. Y'all were emailing me. Oh, what about it? Well, guess what? Now they have a new investment opportunity that is as good, if not even better than last. I'm talking about industrial hemp CBD. Now, for those who don't know, the hemp plant is the cousin to marijuana with a much higher concentration of CBD, which means hemp CBD gives you all of the benefits of marijuana without getting you high. Until recently, hemp farming was practically illegal in the U.S. and heavily regulated by the DEA. However, the 2018 Farm Bill changed all of that, making it legal to grow hemp CBD in the U.S. and creating one of the largest commodities worldwide. They need land to grow all of the plants. This makes for an incredible investment opportunity, and that's where our good friends at 420 Real Estate come in. Now, first of all, they're black. I'm saying that because a lot of African Americans are not in. Now, we were hurt by marijuana laws, and now white folks are benefiting financially from the change to those very laws. Well, the business model of 420 Real Estate is simple. They buy land that supports hemp CBD grow operations and lease it to licensed, high-paying tenants. That's right, they are hemp CBD landlords. And you can get in on the action. You can invest in this crowdfunding campaign for as little as $200 up to $10,000. Like I said, I'm not missing out on this, and neither should you. You should invest. Go to marijuanastock.org, marijuanastock.org. You can get in the game and get in the game now. Now back to your Roland Martin Unfiltered video.